Hi, this is How to Paint with Artfully You. Welcome back to my channel. This is a hyperlapse recording of apple blossoms from my daily Zoom classes. So as usual, I started with a wet canvas. This helps the paint flow more easily, and I'm putting pure ultramarine blue at the top of the canvas. And then I'm immediately adding some white and I'm blending it in a sort of crisscross, uneven manner to fill all that weave of the canvas and to create a nice sort of soft sky. I've tilted my canvas on its side because it's always easier to paint a straight line from top to bottom rather than side to side. And I've mixed a lilac with purple and white and a tiny bit of green. And that's going to be my horizon line. I'm going to put a very gentle sloping mountain sort of scene on the top there, and then I'm going to fill in the land with the same colour leading down to a more brighter green in the foreground. I'm going to use brown for my tree, but I wanted to give a quick demo on how to make brown if you only have the primary colours in black and white. So here I'm making an orange, and the opposite to orange on the colour wheel is blue. So orange and blue makes a really nice brown. I always start my trees with the letter Y. I just find that's the easiest way to describe how to create trees and branches. I'm always making a little bit wider at the bottom, and I try to make each brand that leads away from the main body of the tree to be half the width. Then the easiest thing to say is start adding letter Y's onto each branch. So if you create one letter Y for the main body of the tree, and then the top part of one of the branches becomes the body for the next letter Y, and then just keep adding letter Y's and so on and so on. I find if you make the letter Y's bendy and make one arm of the Y slightly longer than the other, it's a very quick and easy way to develop the bare bones of a tree. So that's what I'm doing here. I've decided my light source is going to be on the left hand side, so I'm just going to add a little bit of black on the right, on the main body of the trunk, and a few spaces of the branches, just to get a little bit of a three-dimensional feel for the tree. This was a speed painting lesson, so I am keeping it very simple. The next thing I did was I used that same brown just to add a little bit of shadow underneath the tree on the opposite side to where my light source was. So it's just very subtle. The next thing I'm going to do is I did a little bit of a talk about the blossom. I always start the blossom on the lighter side, and then I can add the brighter, bolder colours on afterwards. So we're using a filbert or a round for the blossom. And I mixed a very pale pink with red and white, and I just started dabbing it in clusters. So I always put the blossom where the tips of the branches are to start with, and I kind of go beyond the branches where those branches would be so thin they'd kind of look invisible. So it almost looks like the blossom is floating, but it's not really, it's just where that kind of invisible branches are. Then I'm adding a kind of a medium pink on top of that white. And then I will actually add pure red because the paint is still wet, so it'll still pick up the white and the lighter pinks from underneath, so it'll just become more of a cerise sort of bright pink. So this is probably the most time consuming part of the painting. I would emphasize use different sizes of dots, making sure that you have like them all in clusters, have some of the branch exposed, but in some places go over the branch, and so on and so on. I always say there's no such thing as mistakes, only happy accidents. I accidentally dipped into my yellow and I kind of liked it. So I started adding clusters of yellow and green where some of that blossom is turning into leaves, and I kind of like the effect. So that's about it really, very simple apple blossom painting. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want to join me for my Zoom classes, they are 2 o'clock, Monday to Thursday on weekdays, and I do Wednesday evenings at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like and share.